Most people never realize they are handcuffed to a story that was written for them before they took their first breath. A story that whispers, play it safe, settle for scraps, avoid the fire. They inherit commandments disguised as common sense. Money is scarce. We can't afford that. Rich people are ruthless. These phrases simmer in the household air like invisible fumes, and by the time a child can count to 10, the poison has already numbed the imagination. Look around. Grown men and women hustling to stay afloat, never daring to test the depths, clinging to low-hanging branches while the sky calls their names. They aren't stupid, and they aren't lazy. They are hypnotized. They are running software they never chose to install. And the tragedy is that most will defend that software with the ferocity of a cornered tiger, because the mind, your greatest ally or your deadliest saboteur, guards familiarity like sacred ground. But tonight, in the quiet between heartbeats, I want you to feel the hinges of that mental cage creak. Feel the hinges rust at the mention of one truth. You can rewrite the code. The moment you accept that thought, not as a motivational slogan, but as a blood oath, the poverty narrative begins to bleed out. Andrew Carnegie, penniless immigrant, rewrote it. So did Edison, who was fired for lacking ideas, and Disney, who was told a mouse could never sell. Lincoln, born in a one-room log cabin, forged his legend under candlelight. They weren't born in palaces. They were born in limitations, clawed their way through doubt, and learned that wealth, money, influence, impact is first minted in the mind. Mindset is the magnetic field around your destiny. It pulls or repels opportunity with silent efficiency. Picture two miners standing before the same mountain. One says, "There's no gold left," and walks away. The other says, "If gold was ever here, it still is," and strikes the earth until his hands bleed. Same mountain, different magnetism. The broke majority believes money evaporates into the pockets of the lucky. The wealthy minority understands money gravitates toward clarity, conviction, and value. The broke watch prices. The wealthy watch possibilities. Hill called it the poverty consciousness versus the wealth consciousness, and the line between them is as thin as a thought, but as deep as a grave. Break that line and the ground trembles. How? First, audit every belief you inherited. Does it serve expansion or stagnation? Keep a ledger like Ford kept inventory logs, brutal and exact. If a belief shrinks you, evict it. Replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I create it?" Replace "That's impossible" with "Where's the leverage?" Language is architecture. Each word either walls you in or opens a corridor. Rewrite the sentences and you rearrange your financial DNA. Belief without clarity is a cannon without aim. Loud, dangerous, and mostly useless. Clarity is the sculpture that carves chaos into a statue. Think of Tesla pacing his hotel room, sketching the AC motor in midair until the design glittered clear behind his eyelids. Think of Oprah, teenager in Mississippi poverty, writing her name on scraps of paper under the words television host. They saw a picture no one else could see, then stepped inside it. Most people stay broke because their picture is a blur. I want more money. How much? Doing what? By when? Ambiguity is poverty's favorite hiding place. Define a number, a timeline, a reason that scorches complacency. Write it, speak it, linger on it until your pulse syncs with the vision. Let it brand the subconscious the way ranchers brand cattle, permanent, unmistakable. Then burn the boats behind you. Decision is the point of no return. The moment Cortez ordered the ships torched so the soldiers' only path was forward. Indecision is the silent partner of poverty. Decide and the universe rearranges. Roads appear where they were cliffs, allies appear who never knew your name, and obstacles shrink because they fear a mind that has chosen. Purpose now steps onto the stage, clothed in thunder. Money alone cannot sustain a soul. It is gasoline, not the engine. Purpose is the engine, a why that roars louder than fatigue, criticism, or failure. Walt Disney's purpose was not cartoons, it was to awaken childlike wonder. Carnegie's purpose was not steal, it was progress. When your money goal is chained to a mission grander than comfort, every setback becomes an apprenticeship instead of a verdict. Ask, who suffers if I play small? See their faces, feel the weight. Your refusal to stay broke liberates not just you, but every soul linked to your courage. Mothers who will feed their children, dreamers who will see your light and ignite their own, communities that will sprout schools and hospitals because you refused the poverty script. Wealth, then, is no longer a personal desire, it is a moral responsibility. Discipline is purpose in daily uniform. It is Rockefeller counting every cent in a tattered ledger well into his first million. It is Kobe Bryant shooting jumpers in an empty gym at 4 a.m. while champions slept. Most people stay broke because their effort bows to emotion. They work when inspired and coast when bored. Discipline divorces feeling from performance. It engraves rituals into the marrow. Wake, read, write, sell, learn, train, reflect, non-negotiable. Install keystone habits the way architects lay foundation stones. Sleep like it's sacred. Eat for fuel, not anesthesia. Move your body so energy is on tap. Track your finances like a hawk's eyes on field mice. What gets measured mutates. Review income, expenses, assets, skill acquisition weekly. Celebrate growth, but audit weakness without mercy. Action without adaptation is a steam engine on rusty rails, powerful but destined for derailment. The marketplace is a living organism. It rewards those who evolve. Blockbuster clung to VHS pride. Netflix pivoted. And the verdict is etched in bankruptcy filings. Stay broke and you stand still. Adapt and you ride the wave. Cultivate feedback loops. Ask customers, mentors, the brutal numbers. When the data whispers change, pivot faster than fear can form. Gratitude lubricates this process because a grateful mind cannot be paralyzed by ego. Thank every lesson, even the loss, as a courier of intelligence. Edison thanked 10,000 failed filaments for the single bulb that lit the world. Gratitude transmutes defeat into data. Resilience is wealth in raw form. Gold must endure fire to shine. Humans must endure adversity to crystallize character fit for fortune. The broke interpret failure as identity. The wealthy interpret it as training. Lincoln lost elections, businesses, and a child, yet each tragedy tempered his resolve until the Gettysburg Address thundered through history. Anchor resilience with perpetual learning. Read ravenously. Finance texts, biographies, market reports. Attend masterminds like Carnegie's Inner Circle, where steel, railroads, and electricity titans cross-pollinated genius. Skill compound interest accrues faster than capital. In an age where AI evolves by the minute, ignorance is a self-inflicted tax. And now, the crescendo. Imagine yourself standing on a cliff at dawn. The old story lies below. Shattered shackles, burned excuses, echoes of voices that said, "Stay small." Ahead, the horizon blazes like molten gold. Wind stings your face with the scent of limitless possibility. You inhale, and in that breath exists every fortune ever forged, every empire ever erected, every dream waiting to be born. You exhale, and with it, release the final particles of inherited poverty. Step forward. Feel the cliff become a runway. Sprint. Your feet drum a rhythm older than history. I choose. I act. I adapt. I rise. I serve. When they ask years from now why you are free while others remain chained, you will smile and answer, because I rewrote the code and I never stopped upgrading the script. And the world, hungrier than ever for courage, will lean in to hear the next line you write with your life.